third quarterback in the last 10 years to have 4 touchdowns and complete more than 85% of your passes against the blitz. What do you think is the key to handling the blitz, and what has made your success with that package coming at you so successful?
First and foremost, obviously the offensive line picking up the blitz helps me big time. And then not only that, but then center, Cedric, and then my study like of film and seeing what defenses are going to try to do when they do blitz us, making the right ID as far as mic points and changing protections and all that stuff. So having Cedric there to help me with that, and then also just studying film, and then obviously the execution of it, picking up the blitz. But obviously that's a huge credit to our offensive line.
Just to follow up on that real quick, sounds like you and Seth are watching film together. How often does that happen? And secondarily, what would you say is the biggest key in your preparation to being as accurate as you have been this year?
As far as like Cedric, and I know the whole offensive line watches a lot of film together. Most of the time I watch a lot of film by myself, but there is a lot of communication that goes back and forth between me and him. And obviously in practice, coaches prepare us well as far as scout team looks and that sort of thing. And as far as actually goes, I think that's just a chemistry thing. As we continue to play and I continue to understand certain guys and the way that they run certain routes, I think that's kind of goes to say the whole accuracy thing.
Carson, coach mentioned a while ago that he thinks that one of the reasons you're able to handle the pressure of being the quarterback is your baseball background. Can you think of maybe many examples of playing baseball, being on the mound, where the pressure you dealt with there kind of has helped you with your job right now?
I mean, I definitely could say that's part of it. I think I've been through a lot of things in my life that have, helped me to the point where I can handle pressure. But definitely being a pitcher, playing baseball, I mean, you're the only guy that's really doing anything when you're up there pitching. Baseball is a little bit more boring of a sport, but when you're sitting there pitching, like you're the guy, so all the weight is kind of on you to sit there and execute, whether you're throwing 80, 90, 100 pitches a game. I'll definitely say that could accredit to the way that I handle pressure.
Carson, when you look back to UT Martin to where you are now, where do you feel like you've improved the most?
Obviously, the confidence standpoint. I think that's the biggest thing. And then continue moving forward. I think I can improve in every area as far as actually goes, as far as timing goes, just little footwork things. And obviously just the knowledge of the game and the feel of the game, just trying to learn how to play football again. Because it was a long time since I had played in a game, and like the game speed compared to practice, it's so hard to replicate. And really the only way to replicate it is to play in the game. So.
Yeah, Kirby had some really strong praise for Ra Thomas after the game on Saturday. From your perspective, what does his skill set bring to this offense?
I mean, he definitely is capable of making explosive plays. He helps our offense be explosive. And I always say this, that we have so many guys and so much depth, especially at the wide receiver position, where anybody that we put out there, like we fully expect to go out there and make plays. One thing that he did really well in the game was make those contested catches and some of those third down situations, obviously in the red zone, man-to-man situations where it's one-on-one. It's him against the DB, and there's nothing else. So I'm just going to give him a chance and let him go make a play.
You've talked about it, been asked about it a lot, just Brock's unique skill set and all that stuff. But from a strategic standpoint, how much of an impact does it make him just being out there? Because I noticed I think he played every play you played, maybe with the exception of one. Just what does he mean to the overall offense in terms of the attention that he attracts from defenses?
Well, yeah, he definitely attracts a lot of attention, or I would assume. Obviously, I'm not sitting in there with the opposing defensive coordinator seeing what he's saying about our offense, but I would assume that a lot of defensive coordinators have game plans to try to contain him. But he's Brock Bowers. He's going to make plays. He's going to show up every single Saturday. But even just having him out there, like the distraction that he kind of makes for all the other guys to step up and make plays is definitely a huge part, I think.
Yeah, Carson, we hear a lot about standard and expectations around here. I'm curious, what did you expect to play this well coming into the season?
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, obviously, I have like standards for myself, and I have goals for myself. But as far as expectations go, I feel like every single game that I go out there, I just try to be myself. Like I don't expect to go throw for X amount of yards or X amount of completions. Like it's never about the numbers, obviously. And I said this on Saturday, but like really at the end of the day, it's about winning. Especially at the quarterback position, I think that's a huge column that you put on the quarterback is the win column. How many wins they have, how many losses they have. But ultimately, I think our team at the end of the day, it just matters if we get out with the win.
Yeah, Carson, it looks like this is going to be your first start where it's going to be bad weather conditions. Right now, I think it's supposed to be in the 40s with rain in Nashville. I was wondering if you prepare any differently this week compared to other weeks, like center snap exchange and with the receivers, handoffs with running backs, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean there'll probably be a little bit of different preparation. We always do like wet ball drills, like they'll dump it in the bucket and whatnot. But I don't know. In high school, I think like 7 of however many. I think I played like 11 games my senior year. Like 7 of them, it was pouring rain. So like I mean that's Florida. So, but I've definitely played in enough games where it's been pouring rain, and I don't know. Just try not to let the weather affect us. Yeah, no, it's all the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, obviously every defensive coordinator in the country knows how good Brock Bowers is, and yet it still seems like he gets really wide open sometimes. From an offensive player's perspective, why is that?
I mean, first and foremost, you have to credit to his talent and his skill set, and then secondly, the way that Coach Bobo was able to scheme him open certain plays, whether it's with motion or with like pulling a guard or sprinting out, play action, all those type of things. Like there's so many different ways and like different areas that we use to try to get him open.
Carson, first, thanks for coming in here and talking to us. You were talking about confidence a second ago, and I was wondering when Pickens asked you to throw at Pro Day in front of all those NFL scouts, was that a boost that's who a receiver wanted thrown to him and on maybe his biggest audition of his life?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, that was definitely fun. That was so long ago. I think that was my sophomore year, so like 2 years ago. But that was definitely a cool experience to get to throw for him, especially with so many NFL scouts there.
We hear about the defensive players talk about the standard. What is the standard for the Georgia offense?
First and foremost, just execute. I mean, our goal every single time we step on the field, every single drive, is to score a touchdown. Obviously, is that going to happen? Probably not, but it is a goal. And as far as execution goes, I think we did a really good job this Saturday. And moving forward, just try to be consistent in that way.
Carson, this isn't meant to kind of diminish what you've done as a quarterback, but you mentioned the receiving options you have. Like, isn't that in a lot of ways like kind of fortunate? I mean, there's been key receiver injuries around here the last few years. Right now, knock on wood, you've got everybody. They hit the portal hard to get Dominic and Rara. I mean, in a lot of ways, do you feel like you're kind of blessed?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the whole entire offense we have. I mean, as far as our offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, the defense that we have, how we're able to execute on special teams with good ball position and things like that. I mean, football is a team game. It's not about me. And my success is hugely reliant on the players that I have around me. So, and they've all been performing really well. So that speaks credit to them.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Mike Bobo and how it's progressed from when he was named the offensive coordinator. And have you ever lobbied him to keep it on one of those play actions, RPOs, anytime you just decide to, hey, I'm going to just tuck and run, coach?
Well, I would say our relationship is really good, and it's really progressed as far as the trust that we have in each other. He's always been really good at, talking to me, saying what I like and, what I want. But obviously there's certain things where he's like, we're going to do this and this. And I'm like, okay, I trust you. I believe in you. But as far as like RPOs, whatever, running the ball, obviously that's not really who I am, but I can do that. I can do it every now and then. But it's really just what the defense gives us. And most of the time they're not like making me pull the read. So.
Carson, is your slide when you're running from baseball, and what'd you make of Brock's kind of not sliding there on the sideline?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously I learned how to slide playing baseball, so I do know how to do that, and I try not to get hit as much as possible, preserve the body, but I was making fun of Brock after that play when he came to the sidelines. He kind of got whacked. He did a little flip. I was like, you need to make a decision: either slide or go out of bounds, or lower your shoulder. Like if you're gonna get hit, lower your shoulder, like run him over. So that was definitely funny to see.
Carson, was there any lessons learned playing with so many different quarterbacks here? I mean, just going back to your freshman year, I think Dwan Mathis, Jamie Newman for a while. What do you learn when you're around all those different quarterbacks, and how do you think that maybe, I don't know, shaped, but contributed to your development here at Georgia?
Yeah, well, I think the position of quarterback is such a unique position because no two quarterbacks are the same. You know what I'm saying? So being around so many different quarterbacks in my time here, and not only that, but like as far as like training goes and like quarterbacks that I've trained with back in Jacksonville with my quarterback coach, just being able to see the way that different guys process things and how they throw and different mechanics, and you can take bits and pieces from each guy because everyone is so different and unique, and just try to add it to my game so that I can continuously keep improving.
Thanks, Carson.